Hello and welcome again. Welcome back to the channel. If you're first time here and you like what you see, please subscribe. We're trying to make this white truck go fast and we're getting closer and closer. Tonight we will be putting our ladder bars on the truck to keep axle wrap to a minimum, and I'll go through what that is and how these ladder bars, how they're designed to work. They are my own personal creation, but if you want to purchase a set like these, I suggest you go to Glacier Diesel Power's website. That's what I based my design off of, and honestly it's something that I like a lot more than the standard just straight bars you see. I believe these will actually work with the suspension, how it is designed to work. So we leveled the truck in the last video. As you can see, it is sitting pretty good, and removing that overload, it actually sits more level than my gray truck, which doesn't look bad at all. So that, if you want to see that, make sure you check out that video. It's a pretty simple process that you can pretty much do in your driveway with a couple of jack stands, a jack, and some hand tools, really. I mean, if you got power tools, that's even better. But tonight we're going to be installing these ladder bars. As you can see, they just have a coat of paint on them. They're a little rough because they've had several coats of paint on them. They were on the gray truck. They've been through a couple of winters. Really, they should be powder coated, but eventually we might switch over to Caltrax. That is pretty much what all of the drag racers with the diesel trucks use, and I guess that's just a better design. These, admittedly, are a little heavy. So we'll be adding some weight to the truck, whereas we really just want to decrease it, but it's what we got. So we'll get started. I'll go over the components. These are the axle brackets. They're designed to mount to the rear axle, and they will hold our ladder bars. I'll actually show you on this one. This is the driver's side ladder bar. As you can see, I have all in one piece because this one I had to take apart because the emergency brake cable will actually go through here. But this will attach to the axle with a set of U-bolts. They are 4-inch U-bolts, these round ones over here. You can get those made at any local spring shop, like a place that does big rig suspension, trailer suspension. They can make them to whatever you need, but most of these Cummins, I know the 3rd gens and the 4th gens are a 4-inch axle tube. I don't know about the 2nd gens. So you'll have to look into that if that's what you have. We also have these square U-bolts, also made by a local spring shop. They, I believe, are 4-inch as well, and they will just slide over the frame to hold our front bracket. And then connecting our front bracket to the front of our ladder bar is this little guy here, a little dog bone, if you will. Basically, this slides in here and connects there, and the other end connects up here to this stationary bracket, the frame bracket. So the idea behind that is that when the suspension travels, the leaf spring actually is going to get longer because you're flattening out that arc. So the theory is you put those in loosely with lock nuts, and that allows the leaf spring to move the axle back and forth a little bit rather than like a straight bar will keep it kind of there, and it's got its own arc. So that's why these, I think, are superior in design. Like I said, if you look on GDP's website, they have them. If you look at any reviews, everybody raves about them. They're great. I designed my own because they are not the cheapest in the world. I think their bars are $800 or $900. And honestly, these aren't DOM tubing or anything like that. These are black pipe and just steel plate, and I did everything by hand. Nothing was cut out by laser, laser cutters or on a CNC table or anything like that. They're all stick welded, actually. So that's kind of how the bar works and my design. So we'll bolt it up, we'll get the U-bolts on the frame, connect that all up, and then we will actually connect our dog bones, lift the front up, and connect that. Pretty simple. It's actually, I think, 7 o'clock right now, so that's probably all we're going to get done tonight, but hey, it's another thing off our checklist. Alright guys, well we have the passenger side installed here. So as you can see, we got our front bracket. We got the wishbone thing kind of perpendicular to the frame rail of the truck. I did center the ladder bar up under the frame rail. And we tighten the fuck out of the bolts in the back because we don't want it moving on the axle. So now I don't know how well I really explained this when I started the video, but we'll go over it again, why I prefer these over the straight bar. So why I prefer these over the straight bar is when the axle's moving up and down, the leaf spring's actually getting longer, so your axle's going to move backwards or forwards. So this little wishbone right here allows it to do that. I have the bolts in there, they're snug, but everything still moves. So the axle will be able to articulate up and down and also move back and forth. But it prevents axle wrap, and if I didn't explain it earlier, what that is when you're driving, and if I can find a video, I'll post it, put it on here. But that pinion, when you give it torque, the leaf springs will actually like curl, and that pinion will go up, and it gives you a severe angle on your U-joint, and it also it doesn't promote traction as well. Whereas here we still get all that articulation and movement back and forth and up and down, but that axle is not going to be able to rotate because this bar is going to jam up into this bracket up against the frame rail and take care of that for us. So your axle is going to stay firmly planted, thus better traction, less chance to break shit. So that's my design. Well, not my design, that's GDP's design. That's my take on it. But they also look good too. I mean, aesthetically they're great. I don't know how many people have asked me where I've gotten them, and when you tell them you built them, they kind of impressed. And remember, this is not perfect for all the applications because the length I made them, I believe, is 6 foot, 5 or 6 foot. But I had to extend this bracket forward and back. That's why there's 2 sets of holes, because this cab bracket is not there on the gray truck. It is further back. So that cab bracket would be like back here, and this is all just frame rail. So we'll get to putting the driver's side on and we'll call it a night. That's another thing too. As you can see, I'm all sooty and got shit all over me. That running that downpipe, that just sucks. Just keep that in mind if you're putting an exhaust on, you want to hear it like that. There are consequences. Well, that's our ladder bar installation for the evening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys like the ladder bars. Remember, Glacier Diesel Power, they have the design that these are based off of. I believe they call them like the XX ladder bar or something. Rave reviews. But sorry it got dark and didn't get a chance to see them out in the light. But I think they'll look good, especially with them drag radials on there. And now we got something on the outside of our truck that makes it a little less of a sleeper. I mean, with the reverse level, it was certainly looking incognito. So, hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll be back with some more in the next video. So, until then, get out in the garage and get to working on your truck.